Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 19, January 2022. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing. Get your very own corporate website built from as low as $100 with Virtual Palace Marketing today. Terms and conditions apply. The platform is super easy to maintain and comes with state-of-the-art security. My name is Sean. It's just going to be me this week. Jay is out on an errand run, so sadly he can't be here to help me crack some jokes and liven the, I guess, whatever that is going on a weekly basis on social media. He'll be back next week. Anyway, let's move on to the news. Snapchat blocks adult from connecting with minors. It is no longer possible for adult Snapchat users to quick add friends that are under age of 18. This won't completely prevent connections from happening, but it will make it less convenient. So quick add is actually kind of like a suggested or recommended group of people who Snapchat think that the users will also see value in connecting with. Snapchat reported last year that 20% of its total user base were aged under 18, which puts the company in a very, proactive position to protect its demographic. Snapchat is mainly used by a lot of younger adults, or I guess teens, or I guess pre-adult, post-teens, group of people. And herein lies the problem that we've always been talking about, right? Because all these social media companies, they put all these kind of limitations on how to connect with older adults and younger adults and everything. And they know they get how old we are based on what we tell them what our age is. So there are people who are younger, but because they want access to the full unfiltered version of a social media platform, they will tell people that they are older than they are. And there is no way to verify this because you don't have a birth certification. You're not required to upload your identification, which is, if they do, then it opens up another can of worms with privacy and data collection and everything like that. So here is the problem. The only thing that social media companies can do at this point is, based on the information that they have, right? They draw a fence around whatever that is going on. It's a very low fence, right? Maybe down to ankle level kind of fence. And they do this because they don't want to be held accountable in Congress, or don't want to held accountable with lawsuits and everything in the future. So they put a fence, it's ankle height, and it's very easy to jump past these things. So yeah, it's all for PR stunt. Don't believe them when they say they're doing all these nice things for the users. Instagram continues to grow in India. The total app downloads worldwide was topped by Instagram in Q4 of 2021, thanks primarily to India. This was followed very closely by TikTok and Facebook. According to Sensor Tower, 39% of those downloads came from India, which spells very good news for Meta. TikTok was banned in India back in the mid-2020s over national security issues against China. Yeah, TikTok, China, yes, it's a non-stop thing. And Instagram Reels has been benefiting from this ever since. I would say that Instagram is put in a very good position because mid-2020s, or I guess when it first started, nobody really used Instagram as much. And also putting in the fact that every single tech company wants to be part of social media, part of India, because they are one of the biggest emerging markets in the world at the moment. So India bans TikTok, Reels just started, comes in, sweeps the floor, takes over the whole group of people, and they're in a very good position, by luck, I guess, that they can go uncontested. I guess, there are other platforms that work like Reels, like Snapchat and all that, but when it comes to real competition, I guess it's only between TikTok and Reels, right? So with TikTok out of the story, Reels is the one that is taking over the entire India. So yeah, Instagram Reels, you have a lot of work. You have a completely empty highway ahead of you for as long as TikTok remains banned in India. That's a good thing for you. Meta's NPE team focuses on global markets. Since 2019, Meta's experimental division NPE has been building and shutting down a number of apps in the name of testing new features outside of the company's main apps. NPE was established because Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all got too big to be experimenting on new features because they have so many users that if they put on new features that people don't need, it confuses people, it messes around with people's head and everything like that. So instead of continuing to learn from within the apps, they created an MPE team that builds standalone apps that only test minor features like this. So it only makes sense that a lot of these apps get closed down because they're only testing features. And if the features find traction, they will actually embed it back into its main apps. Of the 13 apps launched since NPE's creation, only 2 remain active. There's an app creation app. There's a rap creation app called Bars and tune messaging app for couples. Those 2, I guess, would likely close down very soon. Meta announced that NPE would be focusing on the international markets from now on, primarily in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Previously, they were actually focused in the US, so a lot of these features that they are testing are not quite relevant to us because they're relevant to the American market. The division will, of course, change their stance from copying features of other apps to developing functions that align with the greater metaverse idea. So, in the beginning, what they are doing is they're actually looking at all these functions that everybody else, every other social media platform is creating, is using, and they're testing it to see whether they can actually bring it into their full suite of apps. But since they moved into the metaverse, they are now they're pioneering a new angle. And as a pioneer, there is no one to copy because there is no one ahead of you. So the best thing to do for the NPE team now is to actually test new things. So this will be a true test of the NPE team's creativity because now that they have no one else to copy. We're looking at you guys and we'll see if something happens. TikTok still believes in stories. Many months ago, TikTok launched its own stories format. If you didn't know about this feature, you're not alone. Absolutely nobody used it for their content. Refusing to let this feature go, TikTok has just embedded the stories format into the main creation tool. Now, once you create a video, you can have the option to post it on stories or as a TikTok. The stories will then be mixed into the app's main following or for you pages rather than being tucked into a corner bar which you can swipe from the left side. Now you can't do that anymore. It has disappeared. When I swipe from the left, what happens is it brings me to the previous video. So as you're scrolling through the FYP, for example, you may be shown some still images or short video clips that feel out of place. So you have like videos of cool stuff, videos of whatever you like to watch. All of a sudden, you get 2 still images, each of them 15 seconds long, which is like really like throws your head out of the loop, right? So that's most likely a story post. And there is a way to look at this from a business, to look at this for a business, right, from a positive point of view. Because as a consumer of TikTok, you go through videos after videos, right, that are of the same genre, for example, funny things. And all of a sudden, you hit a still image. It's completely still, nothing's happening, just still. And this inconsistency in the content format catches the attention of an audience. And if you're a brand that wants to catch the attention of your audience, this is the way to go. When everybody's going video, go still. When everybody's going still, go video. This technique can be done very successfully, at least for now. I believe that a lot of other businesses and brands and all that are already trying to do the same thing because they can immediately see the potential here. Maybe in the first couple of weeks we can do this and make it work. After that, chances are everybody will be doing it, and the TikTok's FYP will be filled with a mishmash of videos and still images that will last only 24 hours. Oh yeah, by the way, stories last only 24 hours. That's the difference. And yep, TikTok, this is their way, their second hit on stories and hoping it will work. Let's see what happens. This is how Meta plans to monetize the metaverse. We are now trading and consuming goods and services in this reality, right? We buy stuff, we use stuff, and we are using money to trade, and we are going to work and we're making money there. So there's a lot of trade going on, there's a lot of consumption going on. The metaverse will only kind of like move our trade and consumption into a next reality. So however we interact with the world around us will still be the same. Only difference is it's down one notch down to a next reality. The difference Meta is trying to make is that they will be in control of all the trade and consumption in the world that they create. That is what they're trying to achieve. Imagine a world where all the trade uses Meta's currency and where Meta gets a small cut from each transaction. So now they have become like the government, or I guess the government, or the main company that runs the world and sustains the world and gets paid doing it. That's what they're trying to achieve. But Meta actually has another layer that they're trying to monetize using our micro expressions. You see, in the metaverse, our characters' facial expressions reflect our real reactions, right? When you wince at something, you smile, you wink at someone, that character, that 3D character you have actually does the same thing. This means that facial recognition can actually detect our reactions towards a product or a destination. Let's say, for example, someone throws us an ad about a product and our eyes light up, right? It could be micro expressions, and micro expressions are hard to read, but with the proper AI capability, they will be able to find out how it works. They will be able to detect and collect some data on that. And these micro reactions are the ones that show our true feeling towards something that is shown on the screen or in front of us, before we try to pretend as if nothing has happened. And Meta can potentially sell these information to the advertisers, because our micro expressions reflect our behavior and our interest. And what Meta has been doing, or Facebook has been doing all this while, is selling our behavior and our interest, put them into segments and groups, and sell these to advertisers so they can advertise stuff to us. It's the same thing, but it's a lot easier now with all this, because we don't have to actually click anything or engage. All we have to do is to use our camera and to look at something, and it records our micro expression and it puts us into a segment based on how we react towards that something. So on one side, the metaverse is right now still an arms race. We haven't created an actual metaverse yet, so we don't know how many there are. There could be hundreds of them. There could be just 1 or 2 or 5 or 10. And depending on how many there are, we know how monopolistic the entire economy will be, and how competitive it will be, and how compatible it will be. It will need to be with each other. And herein lies the problem, right? All these big companies are actually fighting to create the metaverse because this is not a gold mine. They are creating a world in which they control the world. They are becoming gods of it. And it's both a very utopian and dystopian outlook of the future. I don't think Meta is the only company that's planning to do this. Every single company that is planning to build the metaverse is also planning to monetize them this way. Sorry to burst your bubble, guys. Anyway, Social Media Weekly podcast available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. If you like Social Media Weekly, it would really help if you could rate and review on the podcast feed of your choice and on YouTube so more can discover it. Social Media Weekly is on the lookout for regular co-hosts to help us bring some depth to the show. If you're interested, simply drop me an email at Shawn, that is SHAWN, @virtualpeddlers.com. This is Social Media Weekly, episode 19, January 2022. My name is Shawn. We will see you next week. Stay safe. Au revoir.